I'm standing on the edge of a cliff. Realize there must be more to life than this. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand from heaven's end. With me tonight, I run away. We'll never forget the past, but what counts is our brand new start. Even if it hurts me or I get scared, just come take this risk now. We'll be prepared. I run away. I run away. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Keep your secrets there, hide them everywhere. Just you and I run away. I run away. Interstellar night space, no one else sees. In the underground, we're living low key. Can give you peace here in your mind. And as I found no place in the dead of night to come alive. Life is waiting on the other side. Follow me into the underground. Watch the world changing as the sun goes down. Follow me into the underground. Follow me into the underground. Follow me into the diamonds in the sky, shades of pearl and green. Fire burning hearts in darkest places. There's never been a better time to feel alive. I found no way, we're past the lines.
Yo, 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 this is Sinz. Hope I'm coming in louder. Made some adjustments. Hope it works out well. We're here to discuss FarmCon 21 Day 2 recap. But before we continue, we're going to go ahead and look at what we have to look forward to in just a few hours. It is 1:31 Eastern Time at the moment. Tomorrow is July 23rd. We will be starting off with discussing the new crops, moving on to sound improvements, and the Stark Challenge real life bell stacking, and possibly more information. Give me a minute and we'll get on with the show. Alright, folks. They began off with discussing parallax inclusion. And how the wind is more dynamic, the effect on the foliage. As you see here, they're looking at the ground coverage improvements, and they'll show more of that later in the video. So how is the wind more dynamic? So yes, you'll see it on the foliage. That's nothing new. We've seen that before. But what makes the wind more dynamic is that the wind direction changes. And we'll see that here in a little while. Oh yeah, and DJ Goham represented USA well. Thank you, DJ, for making an appearance. Now let's see what he had to say.
He is one of our US ambassadors, usually getting up early and still always full of energy. Not sure what he's running on, but here's DJ Goham.
What's going on, everybody? DJ Goham here. Welcome to FarmCon 2021. This year, just like last year, is a little bit different since we're all having to watch from home. Since Farming Simulator 22 is releasing this year, you know this FarmCon's gonna be crazy. I want to give a quick shout out to the Goham fam and all of you guys watching live right now. Farming Simulator is such a community-driven video game, and it is so exciting to have such a wonderful large community supporting the game. Without you guys, nothing that we do would be possible, so thank you. With all that, back to you guys.
Behind me, you...
And that was a word from our friend DJ Goham. We are part of his crew.
for PC in a lot of countries. It's specially made to work with Farming Simulator, and whenever you switch on the beacon lights in the game, they start glowing. And when you turn them off in the game, they turn off on your desk again. So cool. The collector's edition is very limited, but you can pre-order it now, as well as other versions of Farming Simulator 22 available digitally and at disc at retail stores. You might also notice that similar to Farming Simulator 17, we will have different tractors on the covers in the various regions around the globe.
I think I got it. Hang on. Helper B got stuck and caused a short circuit.
Can't take him anywhere.
Okay, I guess I'll leave you two. Watch the rest in the production room. Go fix everything. I'll take that beacon light. And you guys, enjoy the presentation.
Alrighty. So, hi, I'm Ken Burgess, the QA lead here at Giant Software, and I'm joined today by Stefan. Stefan, you want to give a...
Alright, now we're going to get to some of the in-game material. As you can see here, ground cover looks different. And it does depend on what type of items you're using. The cultivator will be much cleaner. I believe the air chisels will leave texture something like this. But there is a little bit punishment. Now the air chisels are cheaper, but you do have less time between using your chisel and when the weeds come up. So you have less time to attack those little pests before they come up, which is an interesting little tidbit. Now in this harvester, we've already seen this before. So the harvester headers will adjust to the ground. Now up and down adjustments are automatic to all headers, but the tilt to match the angle of the land, those will be specific to the real life headers that have that feature. Now of course our modders may be able to implement that in their mods. Alright, here in a second you're going to see him start to harvest. I believe this is wheat. Although I noticed that they did not fix that it is not named. I don't know if it's named in the HUD, but it's just a picture on the screen. But pay attention to the rear end, the discharge. That is now a 3D mesh, particle mesh. It is no longer a 2D mesh. Yeah, if you're going to be behind one of these boys, you better wear your safety glasses. Now here's some new branded items. Those are Rudolph trailers, new to the game. They're also sporting the brand new Continental brand tires, and so is the John Deere that is pulling this equipment. The weight in the front is a German manufacturer weight, which are universal for all equipment. And then they're going to discuss, let's see if we can get a nice shot of that. He's kind of in the way. Okay, if you look on the right hand corner, you have a choice. You can toggle it on and off. You have manual shift and auto drive, automatic shifting. That also comes with animations for the character and the cab driving, for them shifting and using the clutch as well, along with shifting sounds. The sounds are also going to be representative of the load that it's hauling, with also new load sounds. And let's see, I don't think we missed it, did we? So he's going to demonstrate now in the video. You can see there's been another animation change with the hydraulics. Each individual cylinder extends one by one like it would in real life. It no longer does it all at once, like it did in 2019 Farming Simulator. And it does have its own sound.
All at the same time, but now it's more realistic. They're extend one after another. Yeah.
Look at the IA,
Yeah.
the NPC there. It looked a little bit better. There you go.
When each cylinder is at the end, it's locking into its position, so you also hear that, so that it's way more realistic and really great to hear. So,
And it looks like icons at all the sell points and silo points throughout the map. You'll get to see those here in a minute. When they move on to production change, they're going to swap out speakers. There you go. You get a better look here on the bottom right hand. He is in manual drive right now. Which is cool. So you have well-defined trigger points, and now they're producing flour.
so either you only own the grain per se, you can then either sell it directly, because there are like some other, a few other not production chains, but like selling points on the map. I mean, we have, for example, supermarkets and things like that, where you can sell the flour at the supermarket and a few other
Different options where you can sell your products, and depending on where you get the best price, you have to decide where you want to place it or use it.
So each production location has a recipe that you have to do, and it will outline it. Now they did say that this isn't a final version. Things may be adjusted and changed. And then down here it shows you your, on the bottom right, it shows you your outgoing products. And let's move on to something a little interesting. Now, he said that he just loaded this up, but I don't see any other equipment, so I'm wondering if production items are low enough weight you can pick it up, or is there an auto-load trailer function? Either way would be cool, or both options would be great. They did not discuss that. He just referred to, we just loaded up a few pallets, but as you can see, there's no front loader on this tractor. There was no other equipment. I believe it pans around and you don't see anything else other than this. Unless they're not ready to show the equipment that they used to load that up with, but there's nothing but the trailer and the tractor. Okay, check this out. So let's go over productions. Production chains, pre-placed production points will be over the map, and there's also placeable production points that you can place yourself. There's production sell points, like the supermarket, and as you can see on the screen, compile a little list here of some of the materials we can make. Flour, sugar, milk, eggs, strawberries. And we'll get to that in a minute. I don't think that might not be a new crop that you would plant in the field. We'll get to that in a moment. Butter, wheat, sorghum, and oats are stuff that you would use to make products. Now what you're seeing is a recipe for, I believe, cake. Yes. Cake takes a huge investment to make. So I would imagine the reward for making the cakes would probably be greater than, let's say, making bread. Obviously, making cakes will probably be a later in-game thing. I don't think many of us will be ready to make cakes day one. But I got a feeling we'll see a significant pricing or income difference between these two finalized products. And so let's go back to strawberries. They also referred to greenhouses will produce usable items, and I think that's where the strawberries came in. But that's only one, and I don't believe that they're showing us all the productions. I'm gonna make a jump all the way to later. There was a question that they answered. Will there be forestry productions? And they listed the following points. There'll be a sawmill like in FS19, but it has been reimagined, and it can produce things like wooden boards and things like that. They didn't go into full detail. And there's also a carpentering game. So I imagine that if this is all that's going to be, then one might conclude that your sawmill makes wooden boards, and you take the wooden boards to the carpenter to make various other items, maybe boxes, cartons, whatever. Or like we've seen in some other maps, maybe surfboards, boats, and furniture that you can sell. They haven't gone into much detail there. And so we'll have to wait and see if there's any more information on that tomorrow. So let's check out the new DLC with the pre-order.
Fit, basically.
Yeah, for example, if you don't like where the bakery is compared to your grain mill and the
Yeah.
distance is too far, you just can say, okay, I'm gonna buy an own bakery and place it nearer to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier for me to transport the goods, or
Yeah.
if your big wheat field is far away from the grain mill, just place your own grain mill right next to the wheat.
So they're saying, again, you have all the freedom to play the game the way you want. If you want to capitalize on making your farm more efficient and cost effective, like they said, you can place your own repeat of a location like Morgan's Bakery closer to the rest of your operations, saving you fuel and time and allowing you to tend to your crops and or your animals, or sell your products, or continue your production chains.
Wheat field. And-
Optimize.
Just see what you need and customize the world in the way you like.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a nice, very finishing touch. So we're gonna say goodbye to Marius for now. Thank you for being here with us today and giving us a little insight into the new production chains coming to Farming Simulator 22.
Anytime.
And yeah, we will bring Stefan right back and continue with a little bit something more.
Let's check out the new claw saddle track. Okay. So originally, and I kind of feel a little bit bad, I was hating on it. It's a very niche item. You know, if you're one that doesn't play with slurry, or you try it out for a minute and then you ditch it, it's not for everybody. I think they dropped the ball there. But after seeing it, it looks good. After seeing it maneuver, it was great. But let's discuss some points they brought up and why I changed my mind. They highlighted the Klaus DLC pre-order item, which we just saw. They're going to discuss ground textures, the 3D tracks, which we're going to see here in a minute on that tractor. Those are 3D tracks in game, which look really good. Now, FS22 is just like FS19 when it comes to the two fertilization states. But what made the Klaus saddle track more intriguing to me? Because you can choose the, I forget the terminology, but you can choose essentially to double spray, like overspray. What that means is that it will count, if you change it to that higher disbursement rate, it will count as two fertilizing states. Yeah, boy. Now I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. Again, optimization. I don't know if any other equipment in the game, like your fertilizers or your manure spreaders, are going to have that option. But if they don't, again, that makes that one piece of equipment very intriguing, because you get down with your field work, you move on to your next task, you're more productive, better cost efficiency, and a better success for your farm. Who wouldn't want it? I got a feeling I'm going to be using a whole lot of slurry. Seasons can be turned on and off. They didn't go into great details if that's just turning off the map or actually turning off seasons. Landscaping has been improved and will be showcased later today on day 3 of FarmCon 21. And many people for years have been asking, will we ever get working hazards on consoles? Their response was that they're still working on the possibility of having hazard lights on newer consoles. Just like their response with parallax inclusion. They had a similar response. They are working on it. They cannot promise it at this time. We got to understand that there's a lot of stuff that they're still working on. They have a few months to get it done. Let's hope they're successful in the next few months getting everything they want on their list checked off. Right now you're seeing the ground. We're going to back that up a little bit, and you can hear what he says about the difference.
The larger ones, I always have to think of integrators like yourself.
Yeah. So many different parts to animate to get
Yeah,
these
really.
things just look
Yeah.
beautifully.
Yeah, sometimes it's really difficult, especially if the tools get really wide.
Yeah.
So also for American cultivators.
And when they start unfolding in sections and sections.
So sometimes it's really tricking and taking a lot of time to implement it well.
Yeah.
And to have it as realistic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So now we unfolded it, and then we can just
And now let's see
go
what all
right.
the fuss is about with these new and nice crop types.
Yeah, so
Ground types, not crop types, of
yeah,
course.
the ground types. So if we cultivate now, we can see that there's also some straw still. So the stubbles of the field are still in the ground.
Yeah.
So if you would drive now with a cultivator, it would look different.
Yeah.
Because the cultivator is more bringing the straw under the ground.
Yeah,
so you
basically
don't dig
Now, I don't know if
deep.
this is because it's still a work in progress, but up
So,
here along the tree line, it kind of looks cartoony from a distance.
So this is like
But you
depending on
can see some
using
depth
this
from where you're at and far off.
cultivator or a plow, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
It's always going to be whatever was on the field before, it's always going to look different. Of
Exactly.
course,
Yeah, yeah.
how the ground has been
so
worked.
the plow is also putting everything under the ground, so even more than a cultivator.
Yeah.
But all this stuff has also gameplay effects. We improved the weed system there a bit.
Yeah.
So if you drive with a disc harrow, you got more stubbles there, and this results after that the weeds grow faster.
Okay.
So you don't have that much time to get rid of the weeds. So it also has some kind of gameplay effect.
Yeah, I mean the main thinking behind the whole thing was that we want to reward the player for actually taking the time and working the field and like many different cycles and shifts. So if you take better care of your ground this way, that of course is going to reward you in some way or another within the gameplay loop.
Exactly. So if you, for example, you use the disc harrow, you can also drive faster. So, and it also has a financial benefit because the disc harrow is normally a bit cheaper than the cultivator, but you don't have that much time for the weed to control the weeds.
They always got a
afterwards.
balance.
Yeah.
If you got the
so
money.
you have to choose. And before an FS19 it was all the same. So that's an improvement there. So
All right.
and you can also see our new effects here, like similar to the back of the combine. You can also see the
New particles effect in the back.
the dirt that is spreading after the disc. So we improved that as well and added a whole new bunch of ground and soil effects. Okay, so let's jump to another nice vehicle.
Yeah, some might have already seen this one on a screenshot or two. This is our Therion.
And right now you're going to see the demonstration of that
One of my favorites.
double dispersion rate to count as two
Yeah.
fertilization
Yes, it's in my
applications.
opinion, the best pre-order bonus we ever had. So it's not just a small tractor that is an addition.
And watch the front boom. He's going to show you how that works.
Great addition to
Also
the
for
game.
those.
Because this loads from the top, but that front boom is for when you have one of those tankers and you can load it up and it goes straight into the tank.
The class saddle track pack for your game, or you can also buy the game retail, and it's going to be included if you get the disc version in the stores as well.
Exactly. So at the back of the
So I'm liking the DLC, but I still hold true. I don't think it should have been the first DLC item. I think maybe this could have been a great holiday season mod drop, or DLC, or maybe even a New Year's, because as far as we know, they are the first DLC to come will be in spring of 2022, and that's going to be precision farming for 22. It's going to have all the features that 19 has, plus the new features that they're implementing. They've only told us about the one thing. I don't have my notes right now. I think they were something to do with optical sensors. But in the Q&A, just to recap from yesterday's video, they discussed they have a lot of ideas, but obviously we can't do them all. So I think there might be more to it than just those sensors that they discussed. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll get some more news on that tomorrow. If not, then it's going to be down the road before pre-order or the release. So let's check this thing out and see what it does.
Dexterium, we can also see the tools from Caveco. We never had them in the game before, so
Don't
they're
think
also
so, no.
new. So we got at the back the slurry distributor and the tank on top. And as you have seen probably already on the website, we got also the semi-trailed tanker for that. So if you need to have some more slurry, you can use that.
Now, one other thing you should know about this DLC. You can detach all parts and use this saddle track as a standard tractor with what I believe is a decent amount of horsepower. I don't think they have released that information yet. We should see. That might actually be on their website. You can check that out.
Okay, so but first, before before we start to bring out the slurry, I want to have a quick look on the cow shed here.
This is also new.
Yeah, so it's from Rudolf Herrmann.
Yes, it's the
Can
first
see
time
too.
actually in game that we ever
Yeah.
have like a branded like animal husbandry.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really a special thing. And they produce really great things here. So yeah,
Look at our cows.
look at our cows; they're beautiful, and they're eating there. Also from this side, a pretty nice one, and you can also open here all the gates.
You can have a look inside, of course, as
Yeah.
well.
And
There's also like the feeding area in the front.
yeah, so we improved here also a bit. Close this door if you want.
I mean, they seem much more interactive than they were
Yeah.
before compared to FS19. So you will have all these little elements around the husbandries. You have opening sheds and doors, basically, and stuff like this. And of course, you're already parked near the slurry trigger right now.
Yeah. So that's underground slurry tank here, and you fill it then from the top. And we got a bunch of little elements there on the placeables. Especially one nice thing is the lighting inside some sheds we have.
Yeah.
So it
The
looks
new lighting system of the
Yeah.
whole, like the interior design of it.
exactly.
So
yeah.
if it's night, you'll see those lights coming on.
Yeah, and you can also toggle them manually, so you can
Yeah.
just walk to the light switch and turn it on if you need it. So let's drive to the field.
And I
Yes.
mean, part of this of the pre-order bonus, like the whole saddle track pack, maybe just to summarize again, it's going to be the saddle track itself, of
Yeah.
course. And you have one of the Kavico tanks already with the slurry distributor. And you mentioned it before, the other one was the other tank.
Yeah, the semi-tray
Yeah, the
tanker.
semi- exactly.
Yeah. So more for the bigger farms. This one got 16 cubic meters.
Yeah, exactly.
And the bigger one got a bit more. I don't know
If
the
you have-
exact number, but
If you have a few more cows and a few bigger
Yeah,
fields to
exactly.
take care of,
Yeah.
maybe
it's
that might
also-
be the way to go.
and it's also good to mount a bigger distributor.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, you'll get to see it work here in a minute, but I wish that it showed up a little bit darker than you're going to see it to make it easier to tell where you're at. Now, when precision farming is in play, it's easy because you can look at your mini map on the corner and see if you missed anything, but from the equipment that they use to cultivate, it left this ground cover, which makes it kind of hard to tell. Imagine if you get a standard cultivator, the ground's going to be cleaner. It's going to be easier to tell where you've sprayed and where you haven't. But we'll continue with that video. Let's see it.
But now, of course, new slurry distributor also means that the ground is going to change again once we get started. So we see Stefan
Exactly.
already unfolding this.
So,
So if you want to fertilize your fields to increase your yield, you can do that.
yeah. So you can see it here. Yeah, it's
Maybe like the pre-texture before isn't the best to show it on,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
do see it very slightly
yeah, it's a little bit darker.
the
And, now if you
wetter,
stay-
basically. Yeah, also
you
with the
can see here
slurry.
border. Yeah. One nice thing also the here this front arm.
Yeah, I was
So-
about to ask, what's that in the
Yeah.
front?
So in real life, that is used to get the slurry into the tank.
Mm-hmm.
So normally you have one tractor with a slurry with a tanker
Yeah.
that is bringing the slurry to the field, and with that one you get the slurry into this one and then distribute it on the field. And you can also unfold that and move it. I'll show you that as well.
There you
You
go.
can see it unfolding,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can manually control that.
All right.
Exactly.
And I mean, something we have one more thing we want to show you guys. When taking care of your field, when fertilizing them, when using like slurry distributors or also like fertilizer sprayers, for example. We've in the past we've had like fertilizer levels.
Yeah.
We had like in FS19 we had a 2, and we still have these in FS22, but now there's something new that we're bringing to the game for the first time ever.
Yeah, so it's a pretty nice feature if you got a lot of slurry and want to get rid of it. And yeah,
And you don't have much time.
exactly. So normally you have to
Because
fertilize.
you need to get the take your disc harrow out before the weeds come in.
Yeah. So normally you have 2 fertilizer states. So you need to bring out the fertilizer twice.
Yeah.
But if you got a lot of slurry, you can toggle this feature here. You see it on the top.
Yeah, there it
activate
is.
double application rate. So if you activate that, it will bring out the doubled amount of slurry.
And it's going to count basically as
Yeah.
2.
If you look at the bottom right-hand
So,
corner of the screen
yeah,
there just a second ago, it showed you the
that it brings out the same the double
Flip before the other.
folding, and then you can manually control that.
All right.
right there,
And I mean,
right next to the fill level.
we
It's got a new
have one more
picture
thing
for that
I wanna show
slurry.
you guys.
Looks pretty cool.
When taking care of your field, when fertilizing them, when using like slurry distributors or also like fertilizer sprayers, for example, we've in the past we've had like fertilizer levels.
Yeah.
We had like in FS19 we had a 2, and we still have these in FS22, but now there's something new that we're bringing to the game for the first time ever.
Yeah, so it's a pretty nice feature if you got a lot of slurry and want to get rid of it. And yeah,
And you
so
don't have much time.
exactly. So normally you have to
Because you
fertilize.
need to get the take your disc harrow out before the weeds come in.
Yeah. So normally you have 2 fertilizer states. So you need to bring out the fertilizer twice.
Yeah.
But if you got a lot of slurry, you can toggle this feature here. You see it on the top.
Yeah, there it
activate
is.
double application rate. So if you activate that, it will bring out the doubled amount of slurry.
And it's going to count basically as
Yeah.
2 fertilized layers
Exactly, so-
at once.
Yeah, you drive a bit slower because that it brings out the same the doubled amount. So you drive half of the speed,
Yeah.
but then you get the doubled spray state.
So with all these little like geek features, as we like to call them, coming into play, I want to know from you, what's the like main inspiration behind all of these? Is it something like when you're playing where you're saying, oh, this might be nice to have? Like, what's that spark that gives you the inspiration behind putting something like this into the game?
Yeah, sometimes it's based on user feedback.
Yeah.
But also a lot of times some of the colleagues come to me and say, hey, this would be great. And then we just implement it. So
Okay.
and sometimes also I think of, hey, this would be cool if we improve that a bit.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just little things that improve it really well. So
Especially then maybe since it's already like there in real life, maybe there's a way to bring it into
Yeah.
the game. I think for me personally, the whole new like gear system, the gear shifting system, is a perfect example of why didn't we have it in before? I mean, it's of course it makes sense, you know, like you have it in when driving a car as well, but it always has to be optional as well, of course, for those players that like it's a nice to have, but and some might just like dabble around with it for a couple of game time hours, but then maybe switch back. But it's always like the nice balance between bringing in something new that makes it more realistic, of course, but also having that in as an optional feature, basically.
And it also it has to be implemented well so that it works
that's the
fine.
thing.
So we also could have brought the gear shifting earlier, but if it does not work perfectly, it's also bad.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm here for.
yeah,
Breaking the stuff, making sure it works, hopefully.
correctly.
All right. Well, I think with that, hopefully we were able to give you a little bit, just a tiny glimpse of what's to come in FS22. And if there's nothing else, Stefan, thank you for showing us what you've been working on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And yeah, we can't wait to show you more. But for now, back to Matt.
Thank you, Stefan, Marius, and Kenny, for this.
Well, guys, that's going to complete our coverage. Well, no, I'm sorry. I got one more thing. In the Q&A, they discussed about different cow types for making things like milk and meat. These animals come in different ages and sizes, different visuals for each of them, and breeding has changed. They did not elaborate, but they said it's a little bit more immersive in the animal husbandry section. Seeing that we can make meat, I'm wondering if there's an animal production line as well, making different meat products out of different animals. Thank you for checking in with us. We will be back at you tomorrow for FarmCon 21 Day 3. Again, that roster is new crops, sound improvements, and the Start Challenge real life bell stacking, and more information. We already know what we discussed earlier, some of the other topics they're going to discuss. So it's going to be another great day. I am off of work for the next 2 days for vacation, as it's my youngest son, Logie Bear's birthday. I'm going to try to make myself available for the 2 o'clock airing of this, hoping to do a watch party, and then at some point later in the evening do a recap of Day 3. And again, after FarmCon, they go straight into, it's only showing Sunday, but other information says that the Farming Simulator League tournament finals are going to be happening Saturday and Sunday, the 24th and 25th, although this only shows the actual final days as the 25th. That says 10 a.m. I'm not sure what time that would be Eastern. I may or may not be covering that. Maybe you just follow up with the final day. And I've never been to a FarmCon Simulator League. Never seen it. So I think maybe that'd be something cool we could check out together. That's our plans. And I thank you for joining us today. I hope you have a great night. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons.
Be sure to hit those buttons, like, share, and subscribe.
I know my limits. You can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again. See you again. have millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Have a great night. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to follow Giants live, you can go down to their Twitch channel or catch up with us, see if we're going to do the watch party. Thank you for your time, friends. Have a great night.